are an interesting species when you really get down to it. Over 10,000 kinds of them exist, some are intelligent enough to use tools, some of them can fly backwards, and some of them can actually defend your innocence in a court of law. Who fucking knew? In Aviary Attorney, you play Monsieur Jayjay Falcon, a bird of prey with a good heart and questionable lawyering expertise. Along with his witty associate Sparrowson, the two take on clients, interview witnesses, collect evidence, and deliver justice to the guilty in 19th century Paris, France. Now, for some of you who think that this game is just Phoenix Wright with birds, well, I hate to be the messenger owl from Hogwarts bringing bad tidings to all, but no, it is not Phoenix Wright with just birds. It's Phoenix Wright with birds, cats, rabbits, frogs, giraffes, any animal you can think of under the sun, which at a first glance, it is a strange concept on its own, but you know what, I have an open mind, let's go with it. Now, I say that this game is one of the funnier titles I have played in a long time. It's the absurdity of the concept combined with some of the clever writing along with some savage puns that come out of Sparrowson's beak. Speaking of witty, I do have to say one of my favorite things about Aviary Attorney has to be the wide array of characters. Now they say that particular writing makes a character leap off the page. Well, if I do say so myself, this game's writing makes a character not only leap off the page, but walk into your room/office and steal your entire amiibo collection while you watch in horror. Why would you fucking do this to me, Sans? Now, to compare this to a game like Undertale, Aviary Attorney has a wide cast of characters that, one, not only flesh out the world of the game, but two, are all genuinely likable in their own way. Even the villains. They all exist on this moral spectrum where there's justice and then there's chaos. But, you know, lovable in their own way. Now, amongst all these characters, there is one who is honestly a beaconing light of humor. One who I can truly relate to on a spiritual level. Not saying I'm like a birdkin or anything like that, but his attitude and his manner of speaking, and of course his sense of humor. I absolutely love Sparrowson, and I love the dynamic he has with Monsieur Jayjay Falcon as they try and solve crimes in 19th century Paris. Whether it be his love of chocolate or his lack of tact and finesse, or even his witty sarcasm and punnery, anything he does I can totally relate to, and I get his sense of humor tenfold. While the game is funny and has a great story, that unfortunately doesn't make up for the gameplay. All you really do is wander around Paris, talk to people and gather clues that can be used in the trial that takes place at the end of each chapter. Heavily influenced by Phoenix Wright, of course, you just have to read through conversations and come up with the best response possible for the situation at hand. While it can be difficult, if you pay attention and collect enough evidence, you can beat this game in no hassle whatsoever. But try to enjoy yourself. While it may be tempting to speedrun Aviary Attorney, which I can't wait to see you on the couch at AGDQ next year, have fun with the story. On to something more positive though, what really causes Aviary Attorney to stand out is the visual style of this game. With a J.J. Granville-esque art style, this game screams 19th century France. It not only takes you back to the time when this game takes place, but it puts you in that state of mind you need to be in when playing as a bird attorney in Paris. Well, sacre bleu, monsieur, baguette croissant, justice in the eyes of the law. More or less the fact that you'll be taking on the role of an attorney who has to look at all the facts and determine whether or not your client is innocent or guilty, and is a bird. Now, aside from that, you can't miss the soundtrack of this game. Camille Saint-Saëns did a fantastic job on this one. It has this feeling of romanticism that really works when you think of 19th century France, further shaping the world around you. My favorite track on the soundtrack, though? Gotta go with Caterline's theme song. It has sort of this delicate sound to it while still being foreboding. A lot of the piano work itself in the soundtrack is really good. Each song is able to utilize it in its own way, giving each character their own signature sound. And with that, I gotta move on to this last point. The writing for Aviary Attorney is the strongest point of this game. While of course this is a game about bird lawyers trying to right wrongs in 19th century Paris, Aviary Attorney is clever and witty in all the right ways, character-wise, story-wise, and is just a fun story to go through. Now you can beat this game in 5 hours or so, which is kind of disappointing, but what really makes up for that is the replayability factor of Aviary Attorney. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I've heard that this game has like 25-something endings, and for a visual novel, that's pretty cool. Overall, if you consider yourself a fan of games like the Phoenix Wright series, then this is an absolute no-brainer. When I saw this game at face value, I was under the impression that it was going to be a game in the realm of Hatoful Boyfriend, but truly it's so much more than that. With a lovely cast of characters, good art, a great soundtrack, and a fun and enjoyable story, Aviary Attorney is truly one wonderful game that soars high above the clouds. And no, I'm not going to be apologizing for these owlful puns, which I'm pretty sure you're all ostracizing me for. Send help.
SOS.
Hey guys, what's going on? Smarty here. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode of Smarticus. Now, normally I place another Smarticus episode below, but this time I figured since we're talking about Aviary Attorney, I have a Let's Play going on my other channel of Aviary Attorney itself, and I figured you guys would like to see it just so you get an idea of how I formed my opinions and all that stuff about the game. Feel free to click that link below. I'll put in episode 1 and you can go from there. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. This is Smarty, signing off.